Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good night. It is one of the quieter nights on the streets of Odessa. Not too much activity going on this evening. Perhaps all the recent disappearances in Riverside and the horrible murder in the bazaar has caused people to stick to their homes for this evening. It certainly increased the presence of the City Watch, who appear to be all over the city tonight. Heavily armed, hands on their blades, and much more dedicated to their jobs than they would normally be. Far less bribable, much to the dismay of the Tula Sombra in this scene. These two shadows, however, are heading down to the Noble District, one of the known havens of Ulric's reside there. The Noble District is actually gated off to private community, a lovely little place for the nobility to sit in their multi-floored buildings, their sanitary homes and gardens, away from all the troubles of the common folk, all the glib pettiness. Fortunately for you two, one of you is already acquainted with the nobility of this city, and arrangements have been made for you to be allowed into this wonderful community of socialites, judges, knights, lords. And you're allowed in without trouble. For the record, is Eirene currently unstaked, or is she literally being, like, smuggled in?
I would say she would unstake her for this, but she would have a firm grip of her hand, and that little extra bit of, you're staying with me grip, moving her quite quickly.
That's less suspicious then.
Yeah, totally.
Your shadow unnerves the guards at the gates, and there is a moment whether they consider letting you in despite what they've been told. However, they would be angering many people, many very powerful people, if they didn't oblige you. So they decide to warily let you in, but eyes are on you throughout the whole trip.
Yeah, she just keeps Eirene right by her, not looking at anybody in particular, just moving quite quickly, kind of almost inwardly going, this fucking shadow, she's moving.
Your shadow lashes out at the guards numerous times, to the point where they draw their weapons.
Eirene would try to, even in her frightened and kind of confused state, she'd try to be smiling nicely to them, and generally just try to distract them from the shadow by just being her sweet little self.
It is ineffective.
Yeah, I know, but she still tries.
You tried. Failure will not be tolerated, but we'll get to that later. Eventually, you begin to approach the haven of Ulric. It is a multi-floored building. It is one of the larger buildings here. It's closer to a small estate, really. Of course, Eirene, you'd know this place well. You've been here before.
Mm-hmm.
And as Celene begins to approach the building, the shadow is firmly put back in its place. It stops moving completely and seems to return to that of a normal shadow, This does draw a response from the guards, but it causes them to sheath their weapons and kind of question their own judgment. They will, however, wait outside for you as you knock on the door. They don't go closer than beyond the garden, which is fenced off. Or rather, actually, for this building, it'll actually probably be walled off. It's not exactly going to take a trebuchet to the face, but that's not really the point.
All right. So yeah, we'll approach inside very calmly.
You approach the building, and the door opens in your presence, revealing the familiar face of Baron Ulric in his noble clothing. In fact, he looks in many ways just like a handsome noble. He's not wearing the rather ostentatious military attire that he's known for.
Yeah, Celene immediately do a curtsy, just straight down, you know.
Yeah, Eirene will follow.
He will take a step out of the building and do a short bow to you. Lady Celene, Lady Eirene, pleasure to see you this fine evening.
It is a pleasure for you to have this audience with us, Lord Ulric.
Likewise, snaps his fingers and points away, rather annoyed at the guards. They actually look a bit unsure. They kind of look at you, Celene, and then look back to Ulric. And he snaps his fingers again, this time less patiently than before. And then they kind of hurry off, as it were.
She'll just, smile. May we continue this conversation inside if it is permissible for you, Lord Ulric?
Of course, of course.
She'll hold Eirene's hand as she's walking,
Feel free to sit yourselves where you will. Would you like a drink? As he closes the door behind you.
No, I have no need for wine this evening. And she'll look at Eirene,
Eirene has been staring at the ground mostly. She will. She will also deny. Deny, is that? Reject. A drink. Thank you, my Lord Ulric. I am not thirsty.
Yeah, you're 1, 2, 3, 4. So you'd be at 7 blood right now because you've been given 2 blood each night.
Mm-hmm.
Very well. Please, right this way. He'll kind of guide you along to a seating area. Looks a bit like this.
Oh.
It's lovely.
Yep.
There are books, there is fine art. The seating is not only comfortable but well crafted. The interior, the architecture of the interior is quite grand. This is one of the better looking buildings, both outside and inside, in the Nobles District. Definitely one of the largest. You can, as you walk through, you can see there's a place where there's a servants' quarter. Servants' bedding area where the servants would sleep. There's a... Actually, no, that would probably be a building off to the side. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, usually they are. Usually they are.
They have their own building, yeah.
They always have their separate building, I think.
Yeah, so you would have seen that. That would lie within the walls, though, generously.
So yeah, she'll pull up a chair and sit down and admire the room as well because it's a very nice room, and we'll pull up a chair for
Yeah.
Irene to sit beside her. You know, she would look very impressed. You know.
Irene would have sat down at Celine's feet unless, being pointed towards his chair.
Oh yeah, no,
Hmm.
Selena pull out a chair for her. You know.
There is also more soft seating, kind of like a sofa or something, sofa-esque. If either of the two K-Knights would prefer that.
Yeah, Celine's happy with a chair. She kind of looks at Irene and, you know, are you happy in the chair or would you prefer something more comfortable?
I am happy with the chair, my sire.
Just nod once.
Ulric will pull out seats for both of you because he's a gentleman of the highest caliber.
Oh yeah, and she'll thank him and do all the customary thing.
And eventually he'll
Yep.
take a seat at the head of the table, kind of a sort of head of wholesale gesture. And will then steeple his fingers and look at you both.
Selena will smile very gently. The reason why my child and I are here is I bring ill news to you, Lord Ulrich. She'll take a breath. Someone has tried to violate my child. And she'll take another long breath. She was going to say her prayers. The gentleman in question lured her to his church, made them drink. She'll smile at Ulrich with this kind of, knowing smile. Drink the wine. Made her after she refused. And then forced her to kill another human.
Irene, all this time, Irene has been looking at her hands that are folded in her lap. She is not looking up.
What is this guy? Self-control. Shouldn't be too hard. What would this be? Probably like only difficulty 5 or 4 because it's referencing a past event.
Yeah, I would say so. That's fair.
Fortunately,
Yeah.
Free success and complete success. He raises an eyebrow, but remains silent.
The gentleman in question, he'll turn to Eirene, was the name of Father Louis. A monk recently arrived, French. Was it Dominican? She'll look at Eirene very seriously, like piercing stare.
Yes, my sire.
And she'll turn and look at Ulrich. There was a recent arrival to the city, hailing from the same name. Of Clan Bruja.
The clan catches Ulric's attention.
And she kind of gives him
a little bit.
Yeah, she kind of gives him the same look, like, yeah, Bruja. You know what I mean? It's like, she kind of leans forward as well. That is one of the most concerning matters as well, my Lord Ulrich. The location she described to me was Riverside, from my memory.
I've been hearing things about certain occurrences in Riverside.
She'll nod. He seems to have some sort of effect on her. I had to use certain skills to get this information from her.
How long ago was OC? How long ago was Eirene entranced?
About 2 weeks ago, I guess.
Okay, I'll
Maybe
say it
2.
lasts until the end of next week. So you're still,
It was entranced for a month. Yes, she's still entranced.
yeah. You feel pretty angry that they're just bashing your friend right now.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna leave it there. You don't feel
I'll roll
satisfied with this.
my appearance subterfuge to try and hide that. Stack. Not saying anything, but if you want to, I can roll manipulation subterfuge as well. Whatever you want.
You're getting eyed down right now. You can roll manipulation subterfuge, however. Or appearance subterfuge. Actually, yeah, roll appearance subterfuge. Because you're trying to look.
Okay.
You're trying to look calm and collected. You're not saying anything.
Mm-hmm.
You're just trying to look calm. So the appearance of. I shouldn't have given you the one where you get tons of dice. Okay, yeah, you beat him. Sad.
They
Oh
beat
my
me
god.
too. They beat me too.
Goddamn baby shadows. See, you filthy usurpers. Gotta kill it. Gotta.
I'm pretty sure you will during this conversation.
And Celene will look. She has pleaded for him when I interrogated for it. She obviously has some sort of affection for him.
The Bruja do have influence over the emotions of others.
She'll nod.
He could have attempted to bond her.
He has tried. I have made sure that is not possible. And she'll say that very firmly.
It's a bit of a raised eyebrow at the notion of making sure it's not possible, but he will not follow through on his obvious internal question.
No, I have staked her. Obviously, she's been present in very important clan meetings, and I do not trust this Father Louis. And I bring her to you so we can figure this situation out. And she will look quite exasperated, you know.
You staked her.
I did.
He looks over. He looks over at Eirene once more. You probably look a little bit drained, despite the fact that you are not thirsty. Mainly because being staked for a week.
Mm-hmm.
You've been to approach the limit where it begins to hurt. And a lot of little irritations add up. For example, dust resting on your eyes but being unable to blink. As well, Canaanites have no compulsion to blink. It is extremely irritable to the point of becoming painful. And a lot of those things add together when you're staked. Your last 2 days would have probably been an extremely painful experience.
Well, she's been unstaked after a week and then restaked for a couple of days.
Yeah.
Okay, that helps. That helps. That makes it less horrible.
Yeah. So she's not as bad, but she still has all those irritations and shit.
Yeah.
You still are. You are. It's still. You're shaken.
Yeah. I mean, she is looking. Yeah, she's looking at her hands. She's not moving at all.
And Celene will say very calmly, the anger I felt, I thought it was better to keep her in such a subdued state in case my emotions and my own temper at the situation gained out of control and the situation further escalated, Lord Ulric.
I understand, but there are other, perhaps less violent methods that could have been employed.
She'll actually not. That is very true. However, my emotions got the better of me in this situation. I think you having a child yourself would understand.
that Chalder has been a target for similar reasons.
She'll nod.
His attention is mainly focused on Eirene and kind of checking her over, making sure she's okay, and not horribly brutalized or traumatized.
She is sitting up perfectly straight, is staring at her hands, is not moving, blinking, breathing, and tries to represent a perfectly fine porcelain statue.
Looks away from you. So this individual attempted to bond your child.
She'll nod.
Then used his abilities to force her to violate another.
Nods again.
What else can you tell me?
And she'll look at Eirene. He did not attend the Elysium. From what she said, he believed that his station did not deserve to go to such a place. And she'll thinking. And basically from what I used, his impression to cover his tracks, obviously he wanted to have a second meeting from what seemed to be hinting at. Maybe to further the course of the bond.
Why hide from Elysium if you're just going to do something as blunt as this?
I do not know, Lord Ulric. This is... She kind of spreads her hands. Perhaps he does not understand the laws of this city. In being so recent, if it is his father Louis recently arrived. Or could it be that the Bruja are moving against us and are targeting the youngest of us first?
Possibly, but if that were true, I would imagine it would be headed by the sheriff. He is not this. He would not make such a blunt overture unless he knew it would succeed fully. He is not necessarily a subtle man, but he strikes fast and hard.
Should nod.
This does not fit his modus operandi.
She'll nod, and as she's talking, she will hold Irene's hand quite affectionately, rubbing her hands up along and down it. I have thought similar, but this seems more like a rogue thing, Lord Ulric.
There's most likely a cell within a Bruja. Tell me, Lady Eirene, are you all right?
Yes, my lord.
Is there anything I can do for you at this time?
No, my lord. Actually, I will roll subterfuge for that because fucking hell, she's been staked for a week and a half. It's the first time ever. Of course, she's not alright.
Roll it.
Only 2 successes.
Let's see if Celene sees it.
Come on, 1.
4.
Oh, Tony, you see right? Yeah, Celene sees right through that. She's obviously traumatized.
Oh yeah. Yeah, totally.
I mean, even with this roll, it's still like she's still like sitting up straight and is obviously hiding something.
Celene will literally just put her hand. Yeah, Celene just put her hand on hers and just very gently pull Eirene right into her, so she's like against Celene, basically. Very comforting, very motherly.
Yeah, I mean, she won't resist or anything, but yeah.
And she will say very, softly to Ulric, the girl is frightened. And she is worried that she has done something wrong.
Well, then let me assure you, Lady Eirene, that you have done nothing wrong. And that you are the victim in this circumstance.
Yeah, she'll nod, but yeah, I mean, in her head, she did do something wrong because she also betrayed her friend by saying all this.
Totally.
Dominates, like, yeah. He told her not to speak to anyone about it, and she was dominated to say all this. So naturally, she's not all right in that as well. But yeah.
Can you please give me your interpretation of events? If it would not be too much for you at this time.
Well, my lord, I was attending mass in one of the larger churches in the city, and I met this gentleman who, yeah, I know, don't worry, who introduced me to himself and asked if we had a small conversation, and he asked if we could talk further and more private, and I didn't see any harm in it.
Roll some manipulation subterfuge for Celene, because that still fucking irks the shit out of her.
4 successes, get wrecked.
I mean, I'm not even gonna roll. And
I only get 3. Yeah, I think Ulric can tell that, just from the look Celene gets, she's like, that's not what happened. You know what I mean? It's just this pure, it's like a mother basically being very, someone hurt her child, basically,
Someone hurt my baby.
Yeah, but pretty much, yeah. She's just staring, trying to keep composed, but it's very difficult,
Mm-hmm.
So, I did ask my lady waiting to wait for me at the church. Because I wanted to be cautious. But I thought he was just, immortal. So I followed and we went to his church, and we spoke of religion and things like that. His perspective on religion, now that, well, at some point he let me know that he was like me. And then we kind of got deeper into the conversation about religion and our perspective on things from this new life. It was a very interesting conversation. He has a great mind. And, well, nothing bad happened.
Yes, he just takes a breath and will give Ulric an exasperated smile. As you can tell, I have had to reveal the truth from her, Lord Ulric. And Celene, you can see just on the table lightly her hand is starting to form into a fist, trying to keep the anger down.
Please, Lord Ulric, I swear nothing has happened. And it is all misunderstanding. Father Louis is a very respectable man. He has a great mind. I don't think. I think this is just wrong.
Up from Celene. 2 successes. Actually,
I get none, you're fine.
yeah, she's ice cold.
If you just let me talk to him, I'm sure he can explain. Please. And she'll also look at her sire now.
You get the shut the fuck up stare, basically, from Celene. You get the, if you keep talking, you know what I mean? And if Ulric was not around, I would have ripped out your tongue by now. Stare. Do not speak to me, do not look at me, it's just ice cold.
She will shrink down a little, bow her head again, and stares at her hands.
I see. Lady Eirene, would you mind remaining here for but a moment? Myself and your sire will need a word in private.
I will roll a minute sub.
Minute sub or appearance sub?
Manip sub.
Okay. Stop
3
wasting your
successes.
rolls. Come on. Damn it. I fail to read you.
3 successes. 3 successes.
Celene does.
I have 3 successes as well.
No, she's just really good at lying, even though she's not.
Yeah.
She will simply nod, yes, of course.
And she'll just look at Ulric, kind of give him the look like, make sure she stays here. You know what I mean? Stare.
We have many pieces of literature on display for you to browse if you need.
Thank you, my lord.
It's quite all right. We have the situation under control. We'll put a hand on your shoulder reassuringly.
She'll give a small smile. Yes, my lord.
And you get a fairly affectionate smile back. Lady Celene, right this way, please.
Of course. And she'll stand up, stare at Eirene, kind of follow Lord Ulric.
Lady Eirene, the door will be closed behind you. Several doors, because there's a door to where they're going to discuss this matter is actually one of the bedchambers, and
oh my.
Oh my.
Oh
The door
my.
to this room is also closed. The door to this room, the door to both rooms are locked shut. And yes, Ulric will gesture for you to sit where you may.
She'll just sit herself down and then at a long breath, looks quite exasperated, pulling her hair from her face, keeping composed.
I apologize for dragging you away from your child at this difficult time.
It is quite understandable, Lord Ulric. She just gives him a weary smile.
Put a hand on your shoulder. This is quite all right. I understand she is under the influence right now. Discussing measures in front of her would be difficult for her to hear and also potentially dangerous for her.
She'll nod. Understandable.
Now, I can tell you what the current situation looks like from my perspective. Obviously, I am not the Primogen, so I shall not have the final say on this issue. However, it will be something I will be looking into from this moment. The La Sombra and the Bruja of this city are traditionally allies. There is not a direct violation of the traditions here, however. Attempting to bond the child of an organization that is one's ally and forcing a prodigal to violate their own road, whether they with beyond their own volition, believe it or not, is something many members of that road take poorly to, as I'm sure many of your road would not be particularly fond of either.
She'd nod.
This is something both factions of individuals would be interested in condemning. Obviously, our clan will have no interest in an upstart trying to enslave a member of our clan. And many members of the Prodigals are going to be very much up in arms over the notion of one trying to force one of their own to kill another out of hand. For the record, OC Celene, this is also a violation of your own road.
Yes, it is. And she nods, quite like, you know what I mean? Just nodding,
Yep,
nodding.
It was a totally needless killing.
Yeah, and she just shakes her head like you can see just pure barbarism. And she just disgusted, basically. Needless, Lord Ulric. It is needless.
Would you be interested in cooperating with me to find out where this man's priorities lie?
Of course. However, I do want him to know that she is ours. And she'll say very carefully, she is a member of this clan and she is my child. He must learn that.
We can arrange for the message to be sent.
She'll smile. The next question I am more worried about is, and she'll look towards the door. He can, well, how do I keep her from him? And how long will this effect last?
It depends on his mastery of his power. For all we know, he could have attempted to summon her to him already. However, if an incident like this were to happen a second time, we would not just be sending a message.
She'll nod.
His assets would be stripped from him, and he would be then be paying fealty to us.
She'll nod again. What will be the price he will pay now?
We will first need to discover where his assets lie.
If he is a monk, she'll say, then he must have connections in the church, obviously, and if he is located in Riverside among the poorer areas.
I'm sure Eirene can tell us much on that issue.
She'll nod.
The real questions are who, specifically. But if you can discover this, we can ensure the message is sent very swiftly and clearly.
I believe I will. I have a few people already looking into the matter.
That's good. I'm sorry we don't get to talk under better circumstances.
She'll smile. At least you are here to help, Lord Ulric, and that is all I need. She'll give him actually a very genuine, like, thank you smile.
Eirene is a good woman. And I trust that you've raised her into being that person.
It is why I chose her. I am merely worried that this will have a permanent effect on her, and I will lose the girl that I have come to care for so much.
I will do my utmost to ensure that is not the case.
She'll smile and nod. I will keep her relatively safe as I can. However, she is a member of a coterie. She's vulnerable if he tries to acquiesce her again.
Everyone is, to some extent.
Then I shall, every time she comes home, I shall gently interrogate her mind. She'll say softly,
Be careful of how you use that ability. You may
she'll
find
nod.
her mind fading as a result.
That is my worry. I do not want to break her. My sire would have done so, but I am not him. And she just say very softly, she's my firstborn. Motherhood is new to me, so, and she'll smile at him. I want to preserve it for as long as I can.
That is understandable. I too have a young child, though I suspect for somewhat longer than you have.
Perhaps her and Eirene can meet together and we can meet under better circumstances.
Indeed. I do have events planned for the future if you would be happy to attend.
I would be honored, Lord Ulric. She'll give actually for the first time this very bright appearance for smile.
I'd be happy to have such a fine lady as yourself attend my humble court.
She'll give a nod and smile. I'm sure a gentleman such as yourself will keep me very entertained.
I can only hope.
She'll give a smile. Now, she'll just look at Ulric. I will immediately bring her home and make sure she is safe and catered for. After all, it's been very dry.
Yes. I will. Do you know where this church is in Riverside?
Out of character, Saskia, did you give a description of where the church was again?
You dominated that, so yeah.
Yeah, she would give. Celene is easy to remember. Torna does not. So she'll basically give a description of where the church would be located. Kind of, it was in the end. It was in kind of in the thick of Riverside, from what I remember you saying.
Okay. Then I can have it put under watch for the moment, and I can alert you if she is summoned back there.
And she actually will give a very grateful smile. Thank you.
No need to thank me. This is my job.
It is good that you show kindness, although like every once in a while. And she'll give him a weary smile.
I've noticed certain individuals on particular roads tend to not practice what they preach. That has been a lesson I've taken to heart. I once knew a man who preached to never kill, and wound up almost destroying an entire household and stealing their livestock.
Should just give a very like, my God, you know.
In my earlier days, I knew of a man on the path of chivalry, a paladin, who desired to shatter the silence completely so that humanity and Canaanite may live in some sort of idyllic paradise.
You kind of just give this like,
Ulric seems amused by this.
He kind of gives like an amused smile as well. Well, rest assured, Ulric, there will be no shattering from me on that regard. Just smile, like trying not to giggle, basically.
Oh, I trust that you wouldn't. This man was devoured by lupines because he wanted to create peace between them. He puts a hand on your shoulder as if, don't worry. This guy was a moron.
Yeah, she gives this kind of shock stare, like, lupines, really? You know?
Both of them ended up that way, actually. Same night, same event.
Wow.
This is back when I was the Baron. They ignored my orders to remain within the city due to this threat, and they wound up destroying themselves.
Then their ignorance, thankfully, was not the others' downfall, only their own. You should give a smile at him.
At least they made it easy for me.
Very true, very true.
But I apologize. I am reminiscing about awfully morbid events.
At least with some humor. And she'll kind of stand and put a hand on his shoulder. That is always seems to be the trick at remembering sad things, from what I recall.
It does make it easier.
If you wish to reminisce more, you may. I live in the Merchants District. If you wish to visit any time, just smile warmly.
Of course, I couldn't think of a greater pleasure.
Just smile and give his shoulder a squeeze. And now I must get back to Eirene after all. Children, I think just give us some weary smile at him.
Yes. I found her to be quite excitable at times.
She is an excitable thing. After all, you should have seen her when she first arrived in the city. You give her a very bright smile, remembering Eirene getting all excited over everything.
He will rise up and offer you a hand and says, I believe that was when I first came barging in most excitable fashion myself.
Yes, she's rising holding his hand. In quite the ravishing armor, after all, it was quite the shocking sight. And she'll smile warmly.
I'm sorry, I did not intend to frighten either of you. I was in quite a state back then.
Oh, do not worry, Lord Ulric. And she gave him a very deep stare. It did not frighten me. The power you exuded, it sent a message.
Like with yourself.
She just gave a raised eyebrow. I was merely just in the background.
Precisely.
She just gave a knowing smile. It is good that you see.
I've been well taught by my own progenitors.
Lady Katarina is a delight. She'll give actually a very warm smile.
I'm going to roll manipulation subterfuge now because that wasn't actually who he was talking about. It's a pure subterfuge for him, I think. He has no specialty to this.
Let's see if Celene sees it with Discord. Well, let me click on it. There we are.
Only 2 successes. You can easily beat this. I rolled 2 ones.
And one.
Yes, you got 3 successes. You feel like there's a little more to his statement that he's not telling you. You feel like you've gotten part of the answer. As in, when you mentioned Lady Katarina, that he does nod and you are correct, but you feel like perhaps there's someone else?
Just smile. Give this very, seductive little smile and we'll look at him. Well, perhaps you shall tell me the story of how you were taught more when we meet together.
That's a story that spans a century and a half, but I'd be glad to speak of it if you would tolerate my spiel.
I think I can manage if you would listen to my stories about maybe Athens. I could teach you how to sell wine properly. Just smile warmly at him.
That definitely feels like there's more to it, and I'd be very much interested in hearing that story.
She'll give a wink, and she'll give a wink. Well, you'll have to come see me, Lord Ulric. And she'll kind of, gesture, with this kind of smile, that says a bit more than it should.
Of course. I will know where to find you.
Just smile and, give a curtsy, and we'll probably follow him out as he's leading her to Eirene.
Yes, he will happily take your hand and lead you back down the stairs to the sitting area where Eirene is.
And the moment Celene sees Eirene, she runs and will immediately take hold of her, basically.
Eirene, the time that you spent talking, when you come back, you find her staring out of the window, kind of a dreamy expression on her face. If there is one in the direction of Riverside, a window, then that's like...
Southeast?
Yeah.
There is a window towards the. Actually, no, there wouldn't be. This is fairly deep into the building. There is no.
No windows?
Yeah, there wouldn't be a window in this particular seating
Okay.
area. It's like a fairly large building, so there's a fair amount of rooms that are actually just inside the building, without that have no outside views. Outside.
Okay. In that case, she would have probably picked up a book and tries to distract herself from reading, but she's just staring kind of in thoughts, fake smile on her face.
Interestingly, as you read, your body and chair has shifted in a southeasterly direction,
Yeah.
and it looks rather out of place.
She's just staring into that direction, really.
The door will open, kind of snapping you out of your reverie for the moment.
Yeah. She'll look up. She'll actually stand up.
Please, my child, take a seat.
Yes, my lord. And yeah, she'll close the book, places it on the table, and sits down again. Still has that.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. She still has that expression on her face, like someone who just woke up from a pleasant dream.
My apologies for taking as long as we did.
There is no need to apologize, my lord.
It's quite all right. He will sit down. He'll kind of before he takes a seat. Actually, he'll kind of put both his shoulders on you as he walks past you. He kind of walks past you, stops, and kind of leans over something else. Are you all right?
Yes, my lord.
I'll just nod and take a seat. And we'll also open up
Slide down.
Celene.
She'll slide down beside Eirene, looking quite a bit more relieved than she has been.
Yeah. She won't. She'll turn her gaze back to her hands again, basically.
I'm trying to find books here that you would have read, but they're all in the 1300s, and it's really annoying me. I'm actually just going to read out.
Honestly, if you'd have a Bible, she would have probably read that.
There is a Bible. There is a book for literally every faith.
She would probably.
There are at least 4 books, one of which obviously for the 3 main Abrahamic faiths, and then one that dips off into Slavic paganism.
Like I said, she would have read the Bible, and probably because I know there is a section that is in the Bible that is about love, like sonnets or something like that. So probably that section. But yeah, she would have closed it before you gotten in. But yeah.
Let's see. You are reading A Conference of the Birds. Is that actually, can I do that? Is that like readable here? Exactly the wrong book for you to read. No, actually, this is perfectly fitting. This would actually have been available in this region.
Okay.
So yeah, no. You've picked up The Conference of the Birds.
Cool.
It's an allegorical rendering of the Islamic doctrine of Sufism. An esoteric system concerned with the search for truth through God, which is remarkably fitting. Wow, you're reading heresy. What are you doing?
Very sinful.
Yes, he's already getting to you.
Mm-hmm.
However, Ulric takes a seat and says, "Your sire and I have reached an arrangement to handle this situation on your behalf.
My lord?
We would request that you do not return to this area at any point in the near future." You're in trance, you're not going to listen to him.
I was going to say, so I'll have to roll subterfuge.
Yeah. Everyone roll empathy.
2 successes.
Okay, 2 successes. I can actually beat that, but I don't. Oh, Celene does.
And she'll turn very coldly to Ulric, and the warm smile stops, basically.
But she'll just, like Eirene would have said, yes, my lord, of course.
It is not polite to lie to Lord Ulric. And there's that cold ice tone to her voice, you know.
She shrinks. I apologize.
She gave Ulric a look like, I got you, bro. You know what I mean?
Affirm not. Mr. T's got this. Miss T don't appreciate no liars. Your face is just like, yeah, bro.
Yeah, bro.
All right, cool. Look dissuaded. I will say, I have no desire to force this upon you unless it is absolutely necessary. He's looking straight at you.
She is looking very hard at her hands right now.
Tell me, you will not go there with sincerity this time.
Oh, man.
Which you won't, because you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Which you totally won't.
So we're going for another fucking subterfuge. Oh my god.
Yep, do it.
3 successes.
3 successes. I get 5!
Oh, Jesus.
Celene actually believes you. She's like, oh, no, fucking. This is the funniest thing.
So she'll look and just, I promise, my lord, I will not go there.
Celene gives a actually like relieved smile. It's like, yeah, that's a good girl.
And then Ulric gives you the not so relieved smiles. And
yeah. Once Celene sees that, it's just like this pure, like, you know, you lied to me. You know what I mean? Stare.
my child bamboozled me.
Yeah.
What is happening right now?
Yeah.
Literally just a Jackie Chan meme of just like,
Yeah. Pretty much Celine just like moment of pure confusion and then just this ice cold stare. Then
would you
basically
consider that embarrassing, Celene?
Yes, I would. Yes, I very much
Self-control
would.
difficulty 8.
Here we go.
Oh
My
boy.
friend.
Fail.
Oh dear.
Okay.
Well,
Fascinating. Fascinating.
initiative?
Celene,
Mm-hmm.
upon the realization that your beloved child, daughter, has attempted to deceive you not once but twice, and worse still, succeeded and embarrassed you in front of someone who has been extremely hospitable towards you, to the point of just friendly, who has shown you every ounce of accommodation they can muster. That person who you believe, who has basically not only won up to you, but has realized a folly of your own caused by your child, which is remotely her place, whether she is in under the influence or not. That desire to correct your child's behavior, to punish that behavior, is overwhelming to the point of frenzy.
Yeah, I'm assuming Ulric hears the snarl, basically of pure rage coming from behind him.
Now, I'll have you two roll an initiative. The reason I'm not going to have Ulric roll initiative is because I know he's going to go first anyway.
Well, I'm probably lost.
What's my thingy again? Dex is 3, yes, it was 6. So where is it now? Plus 6.
Come on, character feed to open up. Yes.
Actually, I will roll for him. Actually, there's a chance Celene can actually beat him to the punch here. So
she's not a combat character, so
no. I mean, Ulric is
I'm on
Ulric.
8.
Let's see where he. Oh god. Yeah, Ulric's going first.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Okay, what happens here is the first thing that happens is Ulric spends a blood point. He dashes over the table, literally lunging with immense force. And will effectively make a tackle roll at Celene. It'll be a sweep, actually. It'll be closer to a sweep because he's not trying to deal her damage. Check what his stats for that are real quickly. So it's Dex Brawl. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 dice. Because reasons. I think that's 3 successes.
All right.
I'm going to check the immediate rules for the sweeping action because I'm not sure if it makes your athletics roll to stay up harder.
I think it's harder. I think basically, I think it's like difficulty 8 for me to stay up, from what I remember. I'm not sure though.
You got 3 successes on that roll, so I'm just trying to find out combat maneuvers. God. Yes, we get it. Riposte, multiple opponents, kick, disarm, clinch, great blow, strike. Where is sweeping here? Yeah, I'm just going to say increase the difficulty by 1 per success, minus 1 of the successes. So just
that's fair. Yeah.
You succeed, unfortunately, but Ulric is not directly in front of you in your quarry, so you have to get around him first.
Yeah, basically. So I'm assuming she will buff the beast. Will probably assume it's spend blood anyway to buff, basically. So she's gonna buff. What was it? 2 points into fucking strength, and basically sort of barrel charge, basically. Ulric out of the way. If you get what I'm trying to do, it's basically just shoulder block, basically. So just roll strength ball. Do you add your potence onto this, or is the potence only in the damage roll if I succeed?
You're frenzying. You probably spend for potence.
Yeah, that's fine then. So I will just roll my standard strength roll. I buffed it.
Oh, yeah, he has. You're about to see what he spent blood for. What's strength? Is that is strength brawl? So it's okay. It's...
Yeah. So I think my strength is 3 and my brawl is 1. So I think that's 4 and I buffed.
Oh God! Come on, are you serious? Well, fortunately, you roll as poorly as I do, so
yeah. So we're good.
yeah, you are not able to smash him out of the way. You try and try and smash through him, just run through him, and you just end up just kind of bouncing off of him into the wall, denting it somewhat. Eirene, it's your turn. You're fully blood bonded to your dear sire, aren't you? How scared are you right now?
Well, I was just gonna run for the door.
Your sire is attempting to kill you. So, your mother is attempting to kill you.
I'm fucking scared.
Door. Yeah, roll for Rushrick, please. Difficulty 6.
Okay, that's
the person
courage?
You most respect, love, and fear in the world, who you know can take your life away in an instant, is about to do so.
Character sheet is...
Catch sheet's being mean. I can go find it for you if you want.
No, I just need to reload it.
Okay. So
well, my tablet's being mean. I believe I have courage.
Courage 5. You roll 5 dice.
I will roll out.
As much as it is for Celene to make a brawl attack.
That's a fail.
You roll Shrek. This is beautiful.
Yep.
Okay.
She is gonna spend blood in her dex and stamina and is gonna bolt for that door. Okay. She's gonna have to get out.
Make me dex and stamina, you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're in Rosh. Actually, yeah, you don't reach the door yet. So you wouldn't. Yeah, you run for the door. You make it to the door this turn. I'm gonna say it takes you a full action, mainly because you're running past Celene.
Yeah.
Fortunately, it's not Celene's action. It's now Ulric's. He will. Oh my God, he's. Yep. He's going to spend He's going to spend 2 blood points. One of which is to grab Celene. So Celene, please make me a contested grapple roll.
Oh yeah, contested. So this roll was strength.
Nah, he's only going to spend 1 blood point because I don't think he can do this and that. You can't spend for Tenebration and Potence in the same turn, can you?
Whoa. I don't think you can, no. I think you have to spend 1 for each.
Unless it's like Tenebrous Form. I know you can spend multiple blood points for that.
That's her grapple roll you gotta beat.
Yeah, why isn't it rolling for me? Oh, whoops. Oh, damn, you rolled really well.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. See, is this 3 successes? How many successes do you have in total with your potence?
I have 3 levels of potence, and that's 5 successes.
Damn it. Okay, so you draw. So yep. You are able to defend against this grapple because you draw.
So, I mean, the object of my frenzy is running away, so I'm obviously going to go for her, right?
You may roll self-control this turn as well. You did not botch.
Okay.
You'll need a cumulative. I'll say because you almost succeeded your initial check. I'm going to say instead of needing 5 successes, cumulative successes to break out of frenzy, you only need 3. Difficulty is now 6 though.
Oh, I got one. We're okay. I got one.
Okay, you are still hurtling yourself towards her. You have more control over your actions than you did before, but you are not stopping.
Yeah, no, I gathered as much. So I'm assuming I'm gonna tackle her, right?
Yep. You're gonna try and either tackle or grapple her.
I will grapple. So it's the same dice pool either way. Because I'm using strength. So here we go. That's 1 success with the potence as well. That'll make it 4.
Okay, Eirene, Celene is attempting to grapple you.
Oh, great. And of course I didn't put anything into strength. So this is going to be fun.
You do have because this is you can, however, declare for blood point expenditure now because you have to roll for an action now. Okay,
then she's going to put both her because she can spend 2 per turn. You're going to put both into strength.
Okay, and it's a strength.
Oh, and wait, she has potence as well.
Yeah,
he doesn't have any brawl. I'm rot tracking, by the way.
Still kicking your ass. So yeah, it's a strength brawl check.
I got 3 successes.
Did you spend for potence?
I don't think she did.
No, I just rolled it along.
You're grappled.
Fuck.
You may roll. You may roll courage to break out of a rot track. It'll take you.
Okay.
Because you just straight failed your check, it'll take 5 cumulative successes to break out of a red fear.
Okay. Yeah. What was you say? I failed. What was the difficulty that you said? Because you said 7, but if it's 8, I actually botched.
It's 6. It was 6, wasn't it?
Oh, okay. I thought you said 7.
6. I think you just straight failed.
Just 6. It's a failure.
It was not an 8. Yeah, it's just another Canite coming to kill you. It's just someone you care about a lot, and that's what's triggering the Rot to begin with. Circumstances you would not be Rot Shrekking, but this is someone who you're bound to, and as such have supernaturally afraid to. So yeah, you may attempt to break through of the grapple because it is your action now, because you had to defend, and now you get to try and break out. So you may contest again. You got 2 successes towards breaking out of Rot Shrek, so you're getting there.
That's my grapple roll because it's contested.
Yeah, it's potent so hard right now. It's making my life miserable.
Yep.
But it's glorious. You can do it, Saskia. You can do it, little Sombra. It's okay. Your mic's fine. Your presence is enough.
It's crashed, so I think he just rolls grapple against me, then it's fast.
Yeah.
Nope, you staying right where you are.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. It's Ulric's action again. He's going to spend 2 blood points this time. And he's going to try and tear you off Eirene.
Yep, that's perfectly understandable.
Roll it, good sir.
All right.
Ooh.
That's only
you are
3
not
successes
only
for my
torn off
opponent.
Eirene with that many successes, you are now grappled. You may roll self-control.
Hey,
Hi. Sorry, everything crashed on me.
It's fine.
I'm back.
another one. We're back. We're nearly back in the room.
You only need one more success and you're back in the room. However, you're still trying to violently reclaim the blood that has shamed you.
Yeah.
Eirene, you get to the door.
Yes.
You run through the door.
What? That was grappled, right?
No, he got me off you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Eirene,
okay.
you may attempt to break free of the grapple because it is your turn.
Oh yeah. We're all grappling each other, I think, at this point.
You've been so Ulric has ungrappled you. What he did is he basically just tore Celene away violently.
Okay, so I'm free, basically.
You're free and you're running.
I am running out of that
You
door.
may roll courage again. But no, wait. Before we do that, because we're skipping over actions. First, Torna, roll your strength roll again.
Yes. Nope, not going anywhere.
The grip tightens. You are pinned to the ground by Ulric at this point. Eirene, you are running.
Yes.
You try and run through the door because you're in a state of frenzy. You do not even perceive the handle.
Okay. I run through the freaking door.
Roll me strength, please. Your strength roll.
No potence?
Do you spend for potence? You should spend for potence at this point. You're at the door, so you will spend for potence.
And that leaves me with another
going
blood
to be
point.
only one success. You begin to claw at the door. You're not through it.
I have not rolled yet. That is really impressive.
That's just Torna. I'm being stupid. I'm getting ahead of myself. I keep doing this. Okay, make a goddamn roll.
Also, I was on 7 blood.
You have now
I have now another one for potence, which puts me at 2.
Ulric is currently on 10 blood.
I was on 9, and I've spent 1 for potence.
I think
I'm on.
I think you spent like 2 for potence at this point. You're on 7 or 6, yeah.
Yeah, 7.
I think I'm on 1.
Oh Jesus!
You will not spend. Once you hit 1 blood point, you will not spend that last blood point.
Okay, then my last
keep going.
blood point, because I'm tracking, my last point will go into strength, and I've spent for potence now. So
okay,
2 successes plus 1 potence is 3 successes.
You bust down that fucking door.
Yep.
You run straight through it. Please roll me your courage.
Oh, right. Yes. Sorry. I mean,
if you botched, I would have said the door stakes you.
The door staked you. That would be fucking hilarious.
Okay, you get 2 successes. How many were you on before?
1.
Like,
I have 3 total now. I need
3
5.
total now. So you need 5. You're still running.
Yes.
You got 3 successes to break through the door, so you can make it to the exit this turn.
Yeah.
That door, however, is locked and will take more successes to break down.
That
it is
is
a reinforced door. It is the entrance to his home, so it is reinforced.
Did I pass a window on the way? Because window is easier than door. She will go through the window.
This is true. The curtains are closed though, so you don't perceive them.
Doesn't matter. I think when you're erotic liar is enacted.
I'm trying to think. Yeah. Yeah. Instinct would say quickest exit out. So you'd be heading to the window. Yeah. However, before that happens, we're going to remain with Celene. Okay. So Ulric's still grappling with you. We're going to skip that for the moment to just go straight to Celene and say make a self-control check.
Oof.
You may spend willpower on this, by the way. You're back in the room, however.
Yeah, so, like Ulric just sees it, like her eyes kind of dimple back and the snarling stops basically, and she just completely relaxes.
Stay here.
Nods once, kind of like still kind of, lying down on the ground basically.
Because held action, Ulric is not able to spend a blood point with celerity to double his movement speed. And yeah, I guess he's getting tackled now. Or swept. We're going to say swept.
I mean, celerity actions come after regular actions.
No, what he's doing is he's not actually taking an extra action. He's doubling his movement speed.
Yeah, you can do that with celerity.
So what he's doing, so what you can do with celerity in combat is you can either use it to double your movement speed, so you can get to someone and then take your action as if you were to take a normal move action and then take your action.
Totally fair.
Yeah, so that's what he's doing. He's not actually trying to take a punch and then for another punch or that sort of thing. That would actually require, yeah.
What do I need to roll?
So he's gonna roll. Where's his dex at?
I don't have roll.
It doesn't matter. You're fine.
Okay. Someone's gonna go through no guys.
Yeah, that's wow. This would be going a lot more smoother if I got any decent rolls. I got one decent roll. But anyway, yes. He's now. You're going to try and jump through the window. Please make me a Dex Athletics roll, difficulty 7, because their curtains are closed.
Okay. Dex, Athletics. I spend a blood point in Dex, so that's 4. Athletics makes it 5.
You're on 1 blood point, unless you're referring to previously spent blood.
No, I mean previously, yeah. Like the first round, she spent 1 in Dex, 1 in Stam.
Okay. Yep. No. Roll it.
2 successes.
One success.
Wait, no,
7
sorry,
because
1.
the curtains are closed.
Yeah, 1 success.
Yeah, the window is smashed. Please soak me 2 lethal damage. But you land on the glass shards.
Okay.
As you're not thinking, if it was more elegant, you would not be rolling to soak 2 lethal, but you are literally rolling through glass shards right now. You soak one of it. So yeah, you step on some nasty glass shards as you make your way through to make your way out of the building.
Yep.
Celene, do you hold your action or do you go after them?
I'm going after my fucking child because she's running and she's been bound to somebody. I am running for my fucking life, basically.
Okay. Oh, by the way, roll courage.
Roll courage. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, that's
you make it. You're back. You
back in the room.
It is
back in the room.
Perhaps it is the pain of the glass that snaps you out as you land on the glass. The beast that was kind of compensating your body for the pain suddenly it comes searing back to you. As you're away, you no longer see your sire. That gruesome visage of hatred upon you.
Yeah. She's not going to stop running because her sire tried to kill her. She's not going to stop running.
Okay. Then I'm going to please roll me Dex Athletics.
Mm-hmm.
I love this. Oh god.
Dex Athletics, Dex Athletics. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been rolling very well, so you should be fine.
Well, I only got 1 success. This is not a combat character.
Okay, Ulric is able to catch up to you, and he's going to spend a point of potence on you to grapple you. I don't think you can actually combat it if he just... Because he will get... how many dice... if you spend for potence... Oh, no, you can, because you roll strength brawl, so you have enough dice, I think. You're on 1 blood point. Yes, so you can't. You're exceedingly hungry.
Yeah, I mean, I can still... I got 4 strength right now and 1 potent standard. I don't know what to do with that if I don't spend blood. If I add that to my strength, I would be on 5 strength.
I'm going to say roll it anyway. Because if there is the off chance you actually succeed.
3 successes.
Yeah, I like this. No, I don't think it's enough. I don't think you can actually combat this, because when you spend for potence, he gets that many successes, and you can't spend for potence. So I don't need to roll. He succeeds.
Okay.
Yeah, you try. It's kind of like... How to put it? It really is like it's like a parent having the scruff of a child's neck, and the child's just trying to impotently run away. It really is like that. There's just this feeling of complete impotence here, of just being completely unable to fight back at all, as it being dragged back into the building.
She will beg to let her go at that point.
He, if you try and speak, he just puts his hand on over your mouth to prevent you from speaking.
I think
Actually, no, what he does, he grabs your jaw and just slams it shut. So you can't even bare your fangs properly, because he's just keeping your mouth closed. He doesn't even have his hand over your mouth. He just slams your jaw shut. Not slams, but just locks it shut with his hand, and just drags you back into the building.
Is fucking terrified. She still expects that she's gonna get killed right now.
Combat is now over.
Yeah, we also lost Torna.
Oh dear.
For some reason.
No Torna, please. You're not only terrified, you are hungry.
Oh yeah.
You can smell your own vitae on the shards of glass.
You want me to roll frenzy?
No, not yet.
I mean...
The sensation of fear is still awash of you. You're still distracted, but your eyes still gloss over to it. And there's a sense of longing. A sense of need to feed.
Uh-huh.
You haven't been this hungry since your embrace.
Oh, yeah. This is so true.
You're trying to extend your fangs, but you can't. Not properly. You can't open your mouth to you can't bare them like you want to. It's so frustrating. You'll quite literally feel like a beast being chained and taken back to its cage right now.
Yeah, she's probably trying to fight you because she still expects to be eaten alive when she goes back in there.
Yeah. Celene, you see Ulric dragging her back into the house. You see him lock the door shut, and you see him begin dragging her towards... Eirene knows this is the cellar, because you know that's where he got that drink from.
She'll follow along, quite flustered, obviously coming out of the throes of frenzy.
She's following. At that point, Eirene would try to climb almost on top of Ulric because she is terrified of Celene right now.
You just have no power at all to resist him at this point.
No, she's not resisting him. She is hugging him almost like... Like right now, she can't run, and he's basically her only defense. That's how she feels.
Ulric drags you into the cellar. You see him kick the doors open. Both of you feel the waft of many scents of fine wine, alcohols, mineral water, actually. This kind of almost fresh sensation amidst it all, but also the faint scent of vitae.
So just keep
Ulric
moving, you know.
drags you down the stairs, and you are just at this point. Yeah, literally being almost. If you're trying to stop him and constantly trying to change the position, just gets to a point where he just wraps an arm around you, and you just really can't. You can move your elbow to like the lower part of your arm, but you can't actually move the upper half of your arm, so you can't move properly. You can't. And your kind of ankles are being dragged along the floor in unceremonious fashion. Your dress is just ragged at this point. It has glass shards. You can feel like you have splinters in your arm. You're bleeding in your feet. And you are eventually brought to the back end of this cellar. You can see him with his one free arm just takes a bottle, pops off the cork, and just slams it into your doesn't slam it into you, but just kind of effectively puts it to your mouth and is effectively force feeding you vitae. You would not resist this because you're on 1 blood, but you do need to make a self-control roll for difficulty 5 for tasting blood.
Okay, self-control. Where are you? Yeah, right. So I got my numbers in wrong. Yep. Wow. No.
Botch.
Horrible.
I don't even know how to respond to this, honestly. I didn't even think this would happen.
I'm so
Okay. Whew, you botch.
fucking hell. Sorry. Frustration.
Okay, so you'll spend you will enter an aggressive frenzy. However, I'll just say, for the sake of because we've had enough frenzy this scene, and you can't actually do that much to resist.
No.
You enter hunger. You enter rage frenzy, not hunger frenzy, because you botched.
Yep.
This turn you'll basically spend trying to break out of your grapple.
Yep. How many blood points are in that bottle?
There's a lot. You're drinking it as you try and break out because it's literally being force-fed to you. Ulric doesn't seem surprised in the least that you're frenzying.
Yeah, then she was spent for potence, and here we go again. 1 success plus 1 for the potence.
Okay. I'm going to put him at a +2 diff because he's force-feeding you blood.
She had how many blood points did she take this turn?
You can absorb up to 3. Oh no, you're just like being force-fed blood, so you're probably having like 5.
Okay, because I can spend 2 per turn, I would be on 6 right now, so I would spend 1 for potence, and I'll put 1 into dex because I've already rolled my strength, and I don't want to add.
There's a fair amount of blood in this bottle. We'll say it has probably, it's fairly low. I'll just say 10 blood points for the sake of simplicity. I can't do the math right now. It does even though he gets no successes because he's spending for potency, he doesn't care.
Yeah.
She spends for potence as well, but yeah,
I
she
know,
has 2
but
successes.
he has so many successes. Like
Yeah,
you can actually you got a success. And you are spending potence. It doesn't matter. That's the thing. Like he has so much raw strength, it's not affecting him. I also rolled 1 less dice than I should have, but there you go. He will have a not spend for potence the next turn. I'm going to have him make a roll. Because this is a very dark area. Equals 5 black tendrils are roused from the darkness in this cellar. And they will take over the process of grappling you.
Yeah, Selena, make sure the door is firmly shut, closed, and all that,
Let me see what they roll for this. I think they just roll Ulric statistics about the potence.
I think it's your strength. It's your strength potence, I think.
I'm going to say because these are 5 tendrils that are now attempting to grapple you.
Yeah.
I
know in the V20, it is your obtenebration rating plus potence.
Yeah, V20 Dark Ages change arms of Aramon quite dramatically.
I figured, of course.
It's, let's see, strength equals to the cost of tenebration ratings. Okay, that's fine. So a lot to increase. Well, yeah, Ulric is on like 7 blood now. No, he's on 8. Sorry, he's on 8. Yeah, okay, so yeah, they just roll his strength the cost of stuff. Attack using dexterity attack for strength. Okay, so they're just grappling, which I think is just a pure strength rating, but it is 5 tendrils. So I'm going to say they get an extra, because you're up against multiple opponents. So it's like a +2 difficulty for you. It's like +1 difficulty plus opponent, really. But I'm going to say it's just +2 difficulty for the sake of it. And so you're an 8 diff, and they're going to roll 10 dice to grapple you in concert.
Jesus. Okay, well, I'll bring my strength to 5, which takes me 1 more blood point, and I will spend for potence as well.
Yeah. I can't believe it's just strength. These actually now suck.
4 successes, +1 for potence. Oh wait, I was at plus. Wait! I was at +2 difficulty, right?
Yeah.
You're +2. So you only get 1 success plus a potence.
Okay, then I got 2 success. Yeah, 1 success plus potence.
Still grapple. These tendrils just. At this point, once they get a hold of you, they don't let go. It's a case of you're surrounded by 5 tendrils. You are literally you are cocooned entirely.
Yeah.
You can't see anymore. You're surrounded in.
Oh, Jesus.
A cold coffin of blackness.
Oh, no. No, don't say that. Don't call it a coffin. Because I remember a certain vision you gave me. With a cocoon.
Cold coffin of blackness.
Oh, Jesus.
And eventually the struggling stops. And you are you are fed vitae once more.
Yay.
Yep, you are literally, and you are held in place. You are forced up to the wall by these tendrils as Ulric just kind of guides them with his hand. And then he will feed you vitae from this bottle. And you're brought back up to your rating as you were before, 7. You go for about a bottle and a half.
Okay.
Would you like to know why you don't lie to us?
Is she still grappled? I mean, because
you are still grappled by the tendrils. You are being
speak?
lowered to the ground, however, but you're tightly held. You are no longer cocooned. But your ankles are bound, and each of your wrists are bound by a separate tendril each. You're forcibly brought to your knees before the 2 ancilla.
I mean, honestly, without the support of the tentacles, you would probably just collapse on the floor.
Yeah. 1 tendril holds your neck and tips your head up to Ulric and Celene.
She just looks tired and scared was probably crying. Not probably. She's just crying. There's just tears running down her face.
We have a monster inside us. All it takes for it to get out is for one person to say the wrong thing at the wrong time. Never lie to us again.
Oh my lord.
And he will lower his gaze to you. And he will make a roll. Yep. He has really good dice to this. What is your temporary willpower? Have you spent any this scene?
I did not. I think it should be back at 7. Just go with 6.
Because
I'm
it's
not
meant
sure.
to be. Okay, I'll just go 6 then. It says you will not go anywhere near Riverside. And you will not do so until we permit you to do so. And it gets 2 successes. What the fuck? That's enough.
That's enough, yeah.
That is, the command takes hold over you. The enchantment is still there. However,
Yeah, she just continued.
even though you want to go to Riverside, your body effectively betrays your emotions.
Yeah.
I expect some form of compensation for the carnage wrought upon my domain today.
Of course, Lord Ulric. Celene just look exhausted.
All I wish is for the damage to be repaid monetarily. If this happens again, real debts will be paid.
She does not. I will make sure you are reimbursed for the damage done from both of us.
As the situation calms down, Celene,
Yep.
you have just lost control over yourself.
Yes, I did.
You lose a road dot.
Yep.
Because that is the number one cardinal sin of your road.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And you're aware of that. You're very aware of that.
That's why she looks so fucking just defeated.
He looks back down towards Eirene. Do I have to keep you here?
I mean, I think she is just literally huddled on the floor in kind of a fetal position and is crying. Because this is so
You can't even
conflicting.
move into the fetal position. That's the worst part. You're just kind of... Your neck is just kind of hanging there, just kind of tears of blood splattering onto the ground, dripping.
Yeah, she's just so conflicted. Like, she wants to go, she can't go. It's just her head is one big mess. So I don't think she can really reply. She's just crying and crying.
I think perhaps it would be best for the silence if you two were to remain here tonight.
Of course.
We have enough room for both of you. Celene, I will show you to your quarters. Eirene, you will remain here until you have calmed down.
Seems just meekly nod, doesn't really say much.
He will take your arm and will guide you to one of the quarters.
She very much clings. She very much clings onto him, basically. You can tell she feels fucking awful about this.
I know what this means to you.
Yes. I have failed, Ulric. She'll just look down.
You'll be given an opportunity in the near future to succeed.
She'll just nod. Just nod. She doesn't really say much. She just, gives him a slight squeeze of his hand and will, just flop onto the bed completely. Just, no emotion, no crying, no nothing. Just broken down.
He actually tends to rather gently. And will, literally tuck you into bed.
She appreciates it, gives him a squeeze and will just, lie there, very empty looking.
I wouldn't be where I am today if I didn't fall over once or twice.
Just smile wearily. I did not mean to. My sire, she stops and thinks. Lying was very critical of him. I do not appreciate lies, she'll say softly.
I understand.
But I thank you for your gentleness in handling the situation.
I thank you for your understanding. I hope that you find a way to pick yourself up again. Maybe what we're going to do will help with that.
She'll give him a smile. And will lightly kiss him on the cheek, very gently. I grew up in Athens. We always learn to pick ourselves up eventually. She just gives this tired smile.
He will rub your cheek with one of his knuckles and say, "Rest easy then."
She'll just nod and flop down onto the bed. Yeah, long day.
Yeah. Ulric closes the door behind you, but does not lock it. He walks back down to the cellar. Actually, before he does so, he has to deal with the knocking on some doors. And Eirene, you can hear him discussing the issue, this rather rowdy event with some city guards. Appears the watch response time was rather slow today. It took them a few minutes. Which is actually remarkably fast for anywhere else in a city. But here that would be considered rather slow. We expect like a 2 to 5 minute response time to about 10 minutes. But you hear talk of Ulric. You hear him framing this as a break-in, a thief, a burglar that he chased away. He gives them a false description. They know this and they walk away. The door shuts and it is locked. You can hear the echo of it from the cellar. And then you hear those footsteps again. And you kind of see the dust giving way before you see Ulric standing before you as you're still kind of tied into effectively a kneeling position at this point. When Ulric was not there to command the arms, they simply retained an iron hold grip over you. You are basically unable to move the major joints of your body.
Yeah. She stopped crying by then. It's just silent. Also fucking exhausted. She's hanging in the tentacles. She's not resisting them at all.
You are being held at ground level, so you're not being held up in the air or anything.
Yeah, no, but yeah.
He waves off the tendrils, and they release you from your grip. He releases you from their grip, and
She'll fall on the floor.
Yeah, he will catch you with one arm and lift you up. And gives you a soft embrace.
She just hangs there.
It happens to all of us.
Yes, my lord. I apologize.
It's okay. Someone is playing with your emotions. They are trying to take your will from you. But you can still resist it.
How?
He will, does he have to actually carry you upstairs, or are you capable, or is Eirene just so kind of emotionally exhausted right now that she's not really even capable of walking?
Yeah, she is. Like, if he orders her, she will attempt to, but yeah.
He will just pick her up then and kind of bridle carry her back upstairs. And then sit her on the sofa and lay her down. And he'll take a seat in front of her. I'll say, I want you to picture what you're feeling.
I want to go there, please.
I want you to focus on that image. And then I want you to focus on shattering it like that window. Break it. Bury it. Don't let your will be taken from you. It is yours. Focus on the sins he made you commit. focus on what he did to you and how wrong that was, and fight it.
She'll try to remember herself, like drinking his blood, and then later on draining the woman.
Make me a willpower roll. Difficulty 8. Spend a willpower as well.
Okay. Current or total willpower?
Permanent. You roll your permanent willpower, but you spend a temporary point.
Mm-hmm.
You're able to resist successfully. Difficulty is 8, so you do succeed. And 1 success is what you need. You're able to resist this. Because we're getting close to the end of the scene, I'll say for the rest of the night.
Yay.
You do as Ulric asks of you, and you focus on the wrongs, on the contradiction of your emotions and what he's done to you. You focus on breaking that mental image of him. You focus on tearing it down, on revealing what's real about him, and you don't like it.
Yeah, at that point.
Successfully bury those emotions for now. But they're still there. You know they're still there. But you're able to put them aside.
At that point, she will probably start crying again very silently. And I want him dead. I hate him. Why?
I'm going to get justice for you.
Why did he do this? I didn't do anything wrong. Why did he do this?
Because that is what monsters do.
He made me kill someone. He made me completely drink him dry. Even if I was full, I wanted me to continue, and I did. Why?
That was his murder, not yours. He made you do that. He stole your will. But it's yours again.
I'm so sorry, Lord Ulric.
It's okay. Here, dry those off. You'll find something resembling a medieval napkin or something of that sort for you to dry your tears on.
And she'll do so.
I'll show you to your quarters. And we'll set things right, okay?
Yes. Please.
We will. He'll take you upstairs to your quarters. They are next to Celene's. The hall, yours is kind of to the side, but it's still next to hers. It's kind of near the corner of the hall, and you'll be escorted into there. He may attempt to summon you to him, so I'm going to lock this door for now and reinforce it.
Are you gonna stake me again?
I will not stake you.
Please.
He wants to break you. I don't want to risk doing that myself. You can still resist him.
Even when he tries to summon you, remember that.
Yes, my lord.
You may not notice it at first. I've had to force my will upon you so he cannot do the same.
Yes, my lord.
When the thread is passed, I'll remove that command from you. Do you understand what I'm telling you right now?
Yes. Yes, my lord.
Okay. The thing I want you to do right now, when you leave this building tomorrow, is to act as if everything is normal.
Yes, my lord.
If anyone, or he, latches on to what may have happened, or what has happened to you, it may get even worse, and I don't want that to happen. So can you keep this quiet for me?
Yes, my lord.
Thank you.
Except maybe not with him right now.
I understand. We'll be making sure if you are drawn to him, we'll know about it and we'll get to you as soon as. And we'll make him pay for this.
Thank you, my lord. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Keep honing yourself. Even when you're at your sire's age, you'll never stop learning.
Yes, my lord.
Learn from this. And rest easy. And like Celene, he'll tuck you into bed as well. Because everyone, apart from him, is emotionally distraught right now. So, accommodation. I think with that, that is where we can end our scene. With the minor epilogue that when the new night rises, you will see numerous servants patching up the damage that has been done. But other than that, for once, all is normal. And you two are able to leave in peace. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. We'll see you next time.